for joining me. This is Jacob from WagerMeThis, and we're going to do session 2 of this today, where I'm shooting for the 6 and 8. This, for whatever reason, it doesn't, obviously I just want to be able to see the landing zone, and we're going to put $90 on the 6 and 8 again. We're going to do the same thing we did yesterday, right? And what I'm doing is I'm going to do 5 shooters, which would essentially be $1,000, 5 of my own shots. And the goal in each shot is to hit the combination of 6 and 8 twice before I roll 7, which if you can do this 5 shooters and you can average 2 to 1, you are actually probably controlling the dice, and you're actually probably beating the averages. So yesterday we accomplished it. We actually had 2 shooters that didn't hit any, but the other 3 accomplished 11 hits. All right, so today we're going to use these smaller dice, and for whatever reason I only have 4. I know I have 5, but I don't know where they went. I don't know where the other one went. I'm not sure. So these are the smaller version of dice. Because in the casino there's 2 sizes of dice. If you guys don't know, there's 2 sizes of dice in the casino, and there's 7.5 essentially and 7.75 essentially. Well, these ones are smaller, and I actually don't do as well with them from my practice sessions. So let's see what I do. Remember, we're playing like it's $1,000 bankroll. So what that would do is that gives you 5 runs at $90, 6 and 8. $1,000 bankroll, and that would also give you enough to play the line or the don't or whatever, right? You're going to have $15 enough times at that point. All right, so this is what we're doing. We're going to do this. Maybe I need to turn it like this a little bit. That's a little better, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be just fine either way. And so we're going to keep track. Again, I'm just going to put the $100 chips down for the ones I win. I'll put a white chip if I miss all the way. We're going to have 5 shooters. We do the same thing I did yesterday. Again, I'm shooting from stick right 1. I'm going to be shooting the 5-4-3-2. And this is because it's all 6s and 8s. So it's all 6s and 8s on this. I know that was blurry, but that's just the focus part of the camera here. All right, so here we go. I don't know what my delay is like. My kids are here on the internet too, so it may be a little messed up. I don't know. All right, so stick right 1. Coming out, we'll be off on the come out, just because I think that's what people do. So we're going to do that. There's a 12. It's not going to do anything for us. 2 6s there. Let me see what you... Okay, so the blue comes up pretty good. All right. Obviously, we would have lost the line bet, but with $1,000, you're still going to be able to... The $100 worth of pass line bets, you're going to make it through 5 shooters. Back-to-back 12s. Maybe not. Maybe not if you roll back-to-back 12s, but that's really not the case. That's really not what we're trying to accomplish here. We're just putting the 6 and 8 versus the 7. And I'm saying that if you are a good dice controller, if you are actually manipulating the outcomes of the dice, you should be able to roll more 6 and 8s than you roll 7s. And there's an 11, so we would have got one of them back. There's a lot of horn numbers, 3 horn numbers. So the guys that horn parlay on the come out like myself are super happy right now. The guys that play that horn and parlay, that's 3 in a row. Well, obviously, and on the come out, I would have had the first win as well. So that would have been all winners for me. And we got a 4. All right, so points 4. Not that the point matters a whole lot, but we are off on the come out, so we're keeping track of it. And guys, like I said, I don't do as well with these small dice, at least from my practice sessions. So this is actually more difficult. So I'm actually having to, I'm going to call it try harder. And there's an 8. All right, so there we go. This is going to be our first win. Put it right there on the P. 6 deuce 8. All right. We need another win before we 7 to stay on track. And a 4 hit our point. So we would have got our 12s back. The loser 12s on the line. Hit our point. A lot of people are happy with that 4 point. They like it when you hit that point 4 or 10. Them guys double odds. You know, you're getting paid 2 to 1. All right, box numbers are off. We got a 5 this time. All right. 4-1. That was a very good looking shot. Landed on that 5. And remember, the one thing about shooting, and again, dice sets are individual, but when you're shooting an all 6 and 8 set like I'm shooting, you should roll a lot of those inside numbers because that's the numbers you're putting on axes. You should also roll a lot of 7s. So there's one right there. All right, so we only got 1 in this time. Only got 1 in. All right, so that's shooter number 1. Shooter number 1 down. We're going to shooter number 2. All right, here we go, coming out. So you only got 1 on your first run. You're gonna have to get more than 1 on this run. There's a come out 7. Again, that's, you know, we're off on the come out. And I honestly am only playing that way because that's the way people play. And anymore, that's the way I play as well if I'm on the light side. But it doesn't really make any difference, I don't think, except for obviously showing it does here. 6-1-7. Again, now the 6-1 ain't necessarily on the dice, but the 5-2 and the 4-3 are when you're shooting an all 6 and 8 set. I mean, they're on axis as much as anything else. So keep that in mind, guys, when you're thinking of how to make these 6 and 8s happen. There's a 4-2-6 on the come out finally. All right, so we had 2 come out 7 winners, which would have evened out. That's what I'm saying is with $1,000, if you're going to play like this, you would have 5 shooters worth of pass line bets without much problem. All right, here we go. Can we get 3 hits on this one? It would be nice to even us back out. And there's a 5. That was a short roll, but it was 5, so it doesn't matter. It's not affecting us in any other way. They probably would have counted it. At least on the first one. If you kept repeating it, they're going to stop it. Got to get a little more air on the dice, I think. And there's a 6. It's the point. All right, 4 deuce. It's another win. This is second shooter, so we're going to put it right here. All right, obviously we got to get to 10 black chips in 5 shooters. And if you did that, you would be up a little bit because you would have the come out winners, you'd have the point hit winners. So you would likely be up a little bit on your $1,000 bankroll. There's a 6 again. So we're hitting the 6s now, but that was a come out, so it didn't count for us. But a good sign. I feel like I'm dialing the dice in a little better. We'll see if that's the truth. See if what I'm doing here is actual real. Again, I plan on doing this 10 times, 10 sessions of this. So we'll see. There's an 11, 6-5. There's a very good looking roll. Let me see if anyone's commenting. Hello. Okay, cool, Papa. I hope my rolls do you well. Sometimes I'm really good, and other times I'm pretty good. I very rarely am really bad, so that's a good sign. Like, I'm very rarely just, like, really terrible. And there's the 8. That's a good one for us, guys. 6 deuce 8. That's our second hit on the shooter. Like to get one more in. That way it puts us back on track. But again, hello, HCS. Remember, what we're doing is we're trying to prove to ourselves, to others here that watch, that you can beat the 7 using the 6 and 8 with dice control. We're controlling to the 6 and 8 and seeing if we can outpace it. There's the 8 again, 5-3. Obviously, that's a really big number for what I'm doing because I'm using essentially 5-3 is on 2 sides of my dice. So now we're back on track, and now we're gonna, you know, this is the idea here is that I'm saying that I can roll more 6s and 8s than 7s, and I can do it at a rate that will be profitable using dice control. And that's what I'm proving here, or trying to prove here. Maybe I won't prove it, you know. There's a 3-2-5. Maybe it'll prove the other way. Maybe it proved I'm not good enough. And today we're using the smaller dice, which in my opinion, I'm less effective with. So, and so far, I don't know that it's proving that. I've hit at least one on each one, but we'll see. And there's the 6, that's the point. That looked like a pretty good shot. And we're gonna win again. So now we're ahead of the curve a little bit. And that would have been a line winner. So again, that's what we're doing. What is my set, Jacob? Hello, George. I will show you. It's an all 6 and 8 set. So it's the 5, 4, 3, 2. So it just puts 6s and 8s all over the dice like that. You know what I mean? And that's what it is, 5, 4, 3, 2. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to beat by staying on access. Here we go. And that's 8. That's another really good roll for me. Obviously, 5, 3 is, if I'm getting the 5 3s, there's no other way. I have to be on axis because I have both 5 3s on axis, right? So that means I only can be throwing on axis if I get the 4 2 or the 5 3. So that's good for Jacob. Here we go. And 617. We'll take it. We had 4 hits on that one. So we had 4 winners versus 1 loser. And so that's as effective as I think I can get. Really. All right, so we're going to shooter number 3. All right, so in the next 3 shooters, I have to have 5 hits. All right. If I have 5 hits in the next 3 shooters, again, I outpace the 7. So we'll see what happens. And that is a 4-1-5. I jumped over here into the corner on me. It's got 4-1, so let's mark that point up. And again, guys, all I'm doing here, I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything. All I'm saying is that this is a way you can... Thank you, Rorschach. For whatever reason, should have turned my phone volume down, but you guys are just going to hear all my notifications. Sorry about that. But anyways, all I'm doing is trying to show here that if you do think you're a dice controller, there's ways you can set up tests, and this is a test for you. If you can roll more 6s and 8s than 7s, then what you're supposed to be doing, that would indicate that you are controlling the dice. Now you have to do it over multiple sessions, multiple times. There's a 6, 3, 9. You have to do it repeatedly, right? They're right here. They're right here. So I hit 1 on the first one, hit 4 on the second one. I'm not counting the line bets or whatever. I'm just acting like I had a $1,000 bankroll, $90 6 and 8, and you'll win. You know, that should give you 5 shooters on a $1,000 bankroll. All this video is about is dice control, and I'm putting the payments out there just to kind of mark the winners. Mark how many winners I got. And there's a 6, 4, 10. So those are bad shots in my opinion. They're bouncing into that corner. I'm definitely not trying to throw them into that corner. And they're landing there. So that means I'm doing something wrong. Most likely cocking my wrist. Because that's my biggest mistake usually is I have a wrist cock sometimes. And it makes my dice go sideways. When I don't, my dice go forward like that. And they do better. There's a 5, 4, 9. And again, that's another thing is knowing what you do wrong in your shot, guys, is a big thing. Knowing what your tendencies that you do wrong is really big if you're going to try to be a dice controller of any level. And I know that oftentimes I cock my wrist. There's an 8. There we go. That's the 5, 3, 8 too. That's the correct 8. 5, 3, 8. So let's drop 100. This is our 3rd shooter. So let's put it in the 3rd spot here. So right now I got 600. So I'm essentially made the 3rd level at this point. So anything here would be ahead of schedule. Here we go. There's the 5, 3, 8 again. Very good shot. 1 bounce, hop out, land right where we want it. another 5, 3, 8. All right, so again, we're ahead of schedule. And all I'm doing, like I said, guys, this is only about me showing you a way to prove to yourself that you either can or can't control the dice. That's it. If you can manipulate the dice to beat the 7 with the 6 and 8 repeatedly, you can do it with everything else. But you should use the 6 and 8 because you get 10 ways to win versus 6 ways to lose. Now you do lose twice on every loss. And so this is all I'm saying is that I use this specific to the 6 and 8. It's why I use the 6 and 8 set, because I'm trying to not get any other numbers. But what I'm trying to prove here is that you can do it and you can test it. You can test the control. There's the come out. That's the point winner. It's a 5, 3 deuce 5. That's a very good looking roll. That is a perfect roll as far as I'm concerned. Hit the dice, hit the wall low, rolled right out to about here. Exactly on the number I'm looking for. All right, here we go. Coming out. Box numbers are off. Again, guys, I'm not trying to sell you on nothing. I'm trying to get you to teach yourself. All right, there's a 3, 2, 5. Everyone is going to be somewhat different with their dice control. Everyone is. Not every set will work for everybody. Not every throw will work for everybody. Everyone is so different in everything that you're just going to have to manage it. All right. Now, is there some concepts that are universal? Yes. There's obviously some concepts, landing zones, how you want the interaction with the wall. All those concepts are universal for the most part. 4, 2, 6, so that's also the one we're trying to get because them are the other two numbers on our axis is the 4 deuce. 2, 4, however you want to look at it. So that's another win. So at this point, like I said, guys, in 3 shooters, we're well ahead of schedule, but we're not home yet. We haven't done it yet. We haven't proven that we can do it yet. And there's the 5. That's the come out winner, point winner, not come out winner, point winner, reduce. Again, guys, the 3 deuce is a lot of part of my on axis, or because with the 5, 4, 3, 2, we're going to have that 3 deuce on there. So it's not a surprise that I'm getting it. All right, coming out. Box numbers are off. We got a 7 on the come out. Best time for it, right? Because we're off. So we'll definitely take that 7, even though that's a terrible 7. That's definitely the wrong one. If I get a 7, it should be the 5 deuce or the 4, 3. The 6, 1 means that was a bad shot. And there's a 1, 2, 3. Again, really, guys, I shouldn't get any 1s. The 1s and the 6s aren't part of what I'm doing. So anytime I'm getting a 1 or 6, it's probably not good, but that's a 3. Come out here. Six, 5, 1. It's not exactly the right 6, but it's still a 6. That's the one advantage you get with this dice set is that some of your bad throws are actually good throws, right? Some of your bad throws are actually effective. All right, here we go. Let's keep on going. I need a couple more hits. What am I at? 8. I need 3 more, really. 2 is on par, I would call it. 3 more is I'm beating the 7 at that point. 1, 2, 3. So again, that's what it's about, right? Most dice controllers are trying to beat the 7. They're trying to hit more numbers that they've bet than the 7 comes. Well, in this case, we're proving it with the 6 and 8, or attempting to prove that. And there's the hard 2 deuces, which is also a good roll for me because I have the 4, 2, 4, 2 all over these dice. So rolling a hard 4 makes sense. Rolling a hard 8, rolling a hard 6, they would all make sense. Rolling the hard 10. And there's an 11. That one doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Shouldn't get many 11s. But we'll take it. It's not a loser. It's not really a controlled throw, I don't think. And they bounced all over the place, so that's another indication. That was a much better throw, hard 8, exactly where we're trying to hit. I know that's not an exact roll, but it's a winner, and it's in the right family of rolls there. All right, so at this point, we're at 9 wins. We're only looking for 10. 11 is a definite success. 10 is essentially like breaking even. Yeah, go ahead, George. You know way more about that stuff than me. Yeah, tell these guys what's going on there. I'm just showing people that it is possible to do this. So, yeah, so you're the dice setting guy. You're the guy that knows all that stuff. Yes, please tell these guys. Um, I am not. I'm just showing a way people can prove to themselves whether they can or can't do this. So yeah, you use your knowledge. Please help these guys that are watching this, because I don't know as much of this as you do. So please do. I'm just showing, and really what I'm showing is that I can do it. It's not even showing that other people can do it. It's showing that I'm showing you guys that I can do this, right? Is that I am this good at this. So 6, 5, 11. And there's a 5, 3, 2. That's a good roll for us. That's what it's supposed to be. So yes, George, please tell these guys stuff. Help. And guys, I'm being honest when I tell you this. Listen to George. Watch his stuff. If you want more in-depth knowledge on dice control, that's the guy. It's not me. I'm just showing you a way to test yourself. 5, 4, 9. This is a way to test, because at this point you are playing against the percentage of the 7, because the 7 should come enough times that it beats your 6 and 8 the way it works, because it's 6 to 5 and 6 to 5. So you should actually lose to the 7 playing the 6 and 8 at a certain rate, right? So this is, I'm trying to prove to you guys here, essentially I am proving to you guys that you can beat that. You can beat that by controlling the dice. There's a 3, 2, 5. I'm not for a second telling you that you should go do it my way. I'm just saying that you can test yourself. So whatever set you use, or whatever style of roll you use that gets you a lot of 6s and 8s, try it. See if you can do it. You might prove to yourself that you're either need way more practice or dice control is a waste of time for you. You also might prove to yourself that, hey, I really can do this. There's a 4, 2, 6. That's a winner. That's our 5th one on this shot. So I got 10 already. So at this point, I have 2 shooters left plus the shooter I'm on. So awesome. So right now, I have beat the game already, right here. If I go and I don't roll another winner, I've already got 10 wins in a spot that I shouldn't. So all them come out winners I had and all those point hits, they would give me a profit, a small profit at this point, right? So now, but I still am not done with this shooter, and I have 2 more shooters to go. So I could easily be way, way ahead. And there's a 5, 4, 9. That's our new point. And that's what I'm getting at, guys, is you can test yourself for dice control. You can see how good you are. You can use this method to test yourself. Can you beat the 7 with the 6 and 8? It's that simple. If you can do it consistently, if you give yourself 10 sessions and you win 8 out of the 10 of them, then it's probably worth your time to do it. It's probably worth your time and effort to practice. If you can't do it, if you're only winning 6 out of the 7, 6 out of the 10 sessions, that ain't good enough, guys. You'll lose. Hard 4. So you really have to be winning 8 out of 10 sessions to say you're actually manipulating it. And there's the 10, 6-4. That was a really short shot. All luck there. All luck. There's no control at all. Just because it's too short. Once it bounced and it was flying into the wall, doing whatever it wanted to do, there was no precision there. That was also terrible. Got the hard 10, but that's just luck. And again, you could play with luck in craps because you have an 84% chance you're not going to roll the 7 on every roll. So you're already kind of in the advantage, right? When you start, you have 84% chance. Much better. Hard 6. Much better. I know that one rolled out a little bit, but the dice interaction with the table and the wall was so much better. Hard 6. Still on this third shooter. Now we've got to the point where we're definitely beating it. No matter what happens from here, we've beat it. We have 11. So this is my challenge to y'all. Do this. Go try this at home. See if you can do it well enough to prove it. One way or another. Here's the 4. 3-1. One way or another, can you prove it? Can you prove it yourself? Can you prove it to the YouTube community? Can you prove that you can manufacture this? In 5 shooters, can you roll more than 10 winners on the 6 and 8 only? If you can, then you're probably manipulating the dice. There's the 7 out, at least to some extent. All right, 5 deuce. All right, so we got 2 more shooters. We're essentially on a free roll in our challenge here. So we're going to, try to run this thing up as far as it can go. Yesterday I only got to 11. Here we go. We got to come out 6, the wrong 6, but we'll take it. It's come out. Still another 6. Here we go. All right, let's get some more winners in here. Let's really run it up. Yo, 11, that was a really pretty shot. I kind of got a twist on that last dice. That's why I ended up on a 6. It didn't just roll, it twisted on me. Happens, but it was still a good shot. Happens a little bit. Also, it might have rolled off my other dice because they did click. Could have been part of the problem. And there's a 4, 3-1. 3-1, 4. All right, all we're looking for is 6s and 8s. Trying to dodge that ugly one. Doing our best imitation of George from CY without all the dice knowledge. Just the shooting prowess, back-to-back 3-1s. Just trying to mimic the shooting prowess of my guy George. Again, George, guys, I'm telling you all this truth, is I'm being as straightforward as I can. If you guys want to know how to manipulate dice and how to read what's going on with what you're doing, you need to watch George. You need to get in contact with George. His channel is George from CY. If you want to do this at the level he does it, you need to watch him, not me. I'm just trying to tell you how to see if you can actually do it, a test for yourself. All right, there's a hard 4. So we have 3 4s in a row. Everyone is happy with that because by now, as much as we've been winning, we're all on that 4. Crushing on that sucker. Oh, there's that 5-3 right where we want it. That's a perfect roll for me. I know that one didn't get to the wall, but guys, let me assure you, if that other one gets to the wall, unless you're on a cruise ship, they're going to count that. And that 5-3 is right where I want it. That's a winner there. $100. I know it's 105, but I'm not counting the 5 because we would use that on come outs and all that other stuff. Oh, and there's that hard 8 next shot, back-to-back eights, the hard way this time. Gotta love them hard ways, right? 9-1 action, plus whatever you got up here. It's a nice double win if you're playing your hard ways. Guys, play your hard ways. At least put something on them. At least give you an opportunity for 7 and 9-1. At least something. It don't got to be a million, but put something out there. And this one is a 5-1. 5-1-6. It's a terrible shot, but we'll take it. We'll take it. And that's going to be the point. Just like that. Again, guys, we're way ahead of schedule here. Again, this is all about proof. Craps Master, sorry, buddy. It's all about proof. It's about proof in what we're doing as dice controls. And if you want to prove to yourself, this is how you do it. Set up a test and then see if you beat the test. I mean, if there's a come out 7. We should have got a different number there. It didn't quite get over. Let's see what that was. It was an 11. Okay. Come out 7, it's coming at 11. Kind of same thing. Unless you're on the ATS. Didn't quite have enough energy to get over. And that's going to be the 9. 6 in a tray. So I feel like I'm getting a little sloppy here. Getting a lot of 6s. So I'm going to try to take that sloppiness out of it here. I'm going to try to dial back in. I'm going to actually move my fingers down the dice a little bit. And I think that tends to take a little bit of my sloppiness out. So I'm going to grip the dice a little lower. And we got 2 6s. So that didn't help in that case. But it probably helped with the ATS. So we'll take that. It's not what I'm supposed to get, but hey, not a bad one. Six, 3, 9, that's our point. Still getting too many 6s. So I'm getting a twist in there or something. Shouldn't be getting 6s here. But still good rolls. So just they're not what I should get, right? And you should be critical of yourself, guys. Be critical of what you're doing. If you're trying to prove that you can manipulate dice by throwing them, you need to be really critical of yourself. Overly critical, in fact. You need to put so much pressure on yourself for it that you're making sure you're getting what you're saying. All right, there's a 4-1-5. If you're just saying, oh, that was so great, and you just random all over the place stuff, and you're just happy with it, most likely you're just getting lucky. Be critical, guys. You're trying to teach yourself how to win money at craps. There's a 5 right back, 3 deuce. So be super overly critical. That's my advice. There. You be really hard on yourself. That way, when you get to the casino and there's real money, most likely you're going to probably succeed. All right, here we go. Coming out. Box numbers are off. That's a good roll right there. I got a 9. Still ended up with that 6. I'm getting some little weird twist on the end there. They're not just coming back right. So we'll see what happens there. 6, 3, 9. Again, this is going long, man. This is a long roll here. Everyone should be banking here. This should be a huge, huge money roll at the table. There's that 5. I know we're kind of stuck on these 5s and 9s, but that's part of it, right? You're going to get some of those. That 3-2 I'm happy with. That 3-2 is a good roll for what I'm doing. And there's that 10, 6, 4. That's also, I mean, it's not a bad roll. It's just a bad roll for what I'm trying to do, but we'd take it. We'd definitely take it. Them guys that were laying that a hard count probably, because by now you might lay that bet. There's the 4, 3, 1. So obviously you guys can see something here. In these last couple of rolls, I've drifted away from the 6 and 8, right? This is something I want to bring up as well. I've slowly drifted away from getting so many 6s and 8s, right? So I had to go tell my kids to be quiet. But anyways, 3-1. Again, I've slowly drifted away from these numbers, right? So that means I'm doing something wrong mechanically because the dice aren't rolling any different, right? So that means it's something wrong back here. I'm not missing my landing zone or something. And there's a 4-3-7. That was a good looking roll. It's the right 7 too. 4-3. You're going to have to eat them 4-3s, guys. If you're going to shoot this set, you're going to have some 4-3s. It's going to happen. All right, here we go. Last roll, our last shooter. Not last roll. Here we go. You got an 8, the 5-3. That one bounced high on me. It's okay, we'll take it. Landed in the right spot. 5-3. All right, here we go. Any winners is great here because we've already accomplished our task and we've already proven that we are beating it this round. There's the 9. Again, we're still got something going wrong, but we're trying to fix it on the fly here. Trying to fix it. 6-3-9 on that one. That was a much better shot. We ended up with a 6, but I liked everything about that one better. And I'm happy we got the 6. It's not exactly the right 6, but everything about that shot was better, in my opinion. So here we go. We got a winner on every shooter, which is a good sign because yesterday we didn't. We still accomplished our goal yesterday, but we had 2 shooters where we didn't get a winner. And there's the 8, that's the point. Which is not great. I feel like that's actually kind of against what I'm saying. You think you would at least get 1 on every shooter, just based in the math, right? So here we go. Coming out. We are crushing it at this point now. Pretty roll. 5-4-9. Pretty roll. Pretty roll. All right, take that all day long. It was really nice. I know that's kind of like the secondary side of the numbers there, but we'll take it. That was a good looking roll. Got the 11. Bounced out a little long for me, but still a pretty good looking roll. 11. Here we go. 6, deuce, 8. Still crushing. Still crushing. Just adding $100 chips here. Again, this is only me shooting though, so if you're at a table, you'd either have to wait till it's your shot every time or figure something else out for the other shooters. And there's the 4-3-1. That was a pretty good looking roll. Got one kind of bounced a little high, but it's still a pretty good looking roll. 3-1. Again, and guys, I shoot left-handed. I'm not left-handed. I just shoot left-handed because I feel like I have better aim on my dice left-handed. 3-1-4. And what I mean by that is I can consistently hit the same spot better. So I shoot left-handed. 3-1-4. Again, thank you for everybody that's watching. I don't know. I know you guys are thinking. So half the people are probably thinking, well, this is all BS. He's just getting lucky. The other half of the people are thinking, yeah, he's right. Look, he's testing himself and he's winning. That's what I love about the craps community is you get a lot of opinions. Most are all good. Some are just negative. I don't really like just the purely negative people. 12, 2 6s. 9, that's the point. Again, we've drifted a little bit away from our 6s and 8s. Part of that could be just the amount of shots I've shot here. Part of it could be something I'm doing mechanically. There's a lot involved here. But one thing we know for sure is that I've outpaced the 7 in 5 shooters. There's a hard 6. It's a good one for us. And I've had multiple come outs, so that's even more sixes and eights that I've rolled and outpaced the 7. They just don't count as winners, and we're only counting the winners. It's the only ones that matter is the winner rolls, right? And there's a 4-3. Okay, so we're out. That was a good looking shot. Ended up on access throw, so you can't be mad about it. All right, let's just see where we ended up, right? So obviously we accomplished our goal. All right, shooter 1, we got 100. Shooter 2, 400. Shooter 3 was the good one. It got all the way to 6. Another 300, another 300. All right, so what did we end up with? 500, 1100, 1700 on 1,000. Guys, if I can't prove it any more than this is why I'm doing this 10 times. Here's one of the negative guys right here. Dr. Don't Pass. You know, he'll yes, this is show 210, KG. He'll argue with me the whole way here, and I will repeatedly prove this, but he'll argue with me the whole way because that's my guy. He does that. But again, this is show number 2. Again, these are live. I don't know how. I can't fake it. I'm not using rigged dice or something. I got plenty of 7s. All I'm showing is that you can test yourself to see if you are actually doing anything special. You can do that. And that is what I'm showing here. And whether you want to believe it or you don't want to believe it, I don't know how else to do it any more live than to come see you personally, I guess. That would be the only other way I could do it because this is live. And you guys see what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing over and over and over, rolling the same set, trying to hit the same spot. I'm doing everything dice control entails, and I'm showing you that I can use the 6 and 8 to beat the 7. With the whole process, the bet, the amount of 6s and 8s rolled versus the 7. And again, I'm going to do this 10 times. If I don't succeed 8 out of the 10, there's no value there, right? Yes, you're going to have, because when you lose on the 7, you'll lose twice, right? So you got to win twice before you lose once, which is better than the average, right? Because it's 5 to 6, you have 5 winners versus 6 losers. If you're rolling a 2-to-1 win rate, win to loss, you're actually beating the 7. You're actually doing better than the 7. And by the built-in percentages of the game, by what the game says you should get. If you're rolling 2 6s or 8s or a combination of that for every 7, you're beating the game. You're essentially doing better than the percentages tell you should do, and better than the casino believes you'll do. Now, anything past that, you're really beating it, right? So today I smashed it, right? I had 5 losers, but I had 17 winners, right? That's 7. Yeah, I had 5 losers and 17 winners. So my 5 losers equate to 10, right? So I was 7 winners ahead today, essentially is how you look at it. I was 7, 6s and 8s ahead today, which is a big deal. Plus, I would have had all those $15 wins from the line bets, right? The points I hit and some of the come outs. Now, there were some losers too, but definitely more winners. So we also would have had that profit. And then you would have had the extra $5 chip on each one of those that I don't put down, because most likely you're going to tip that out if you're a good player. I feel like good players tip. So that's less than 10%. If you tipped out every $5 chip on a $105 winner, that's a pretty good tip to a dealer, but it's less than 10%. So again, that's why I'm only counting the black chips, because I feel like I would tip that out as well. And I'm not putting the line bets on there because you're still going to have money for those line bets, and people are going to play ATS, and you're going to throw money on hard ways, and there's going to be some other money involved. So that's what that other 100 is for. And why I would say this would be like $1,000 bankroll, going in, 5 shots, 5 shooters. Can you beat the 7? And that's what, and again, guys, I'm not necessarily telling you that I can do this. I'm not really saying that. I'm showing that, yes, but that's not really what I'm saying. I'm showing, what I'm trying to show you is that if you think you can, this is a way you can test that. That's what I'm actually saying. It's not that I'm saying that, hey, look at me, I can do this, I'm the best dice controller or whatever. I'm really not. I'm really not saying those things. What I'm saying is that if you think you are, if you think you can do this, this is a way to test it. This is a way to test whether you can beat the 7, but you can't do it once and say, yep, I did it. You have to do it 10, 20, 30 times. You have to, in your percentage, you have to be at an 80% win rate beating this. You have to be beating the 7 80% of your sessions to make to be actually useful. That's up to you. Can you do that? I don't know. You got to figure it out. You got to do your own practice. I'm showing it live because I don't want to show it on a recorded video, because then people will say, well, you recorded that 5 times or whatever, which I never do, by the way. Everything I record, I just upload. I don't edit, nothing. I don't have any of that. But live, there's no way around that, right? You get to see what you get to see. So it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. But again, guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Again, I plan on coming out with another one of these tomorrow and the next day and the next day. There might be a day that I do 2 of them, just so I can get 10 in by Friday. But this is kind of the thought process for this week. Hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you guys like this test. In my opinion, if you think you're a dice controller, if you think you can beat the game in that fashion, then you should probably try this test, at least for 10 sessions. Can you do 5 shooters and beat it in 10 sessions? If you can, then you should probably think you can do it. If you can't, you should probably rethink what you're doing and just play a different way, in my opinion. You should just play the numbers then and not worry about this. Now, again, everybody's different. Everyone's thought process in the game is different. Okay, KG, I'll put some chips up tomorrow. Again, that's a good point. I'll put some chips up tomorrow. That way we have that involved. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'll do that from here on out. I'll put them all over the pass line right there, because the rest of them, I don't know that would really matter, but definitely on the pass line there, put some odds behind it and stuff, put some big stacks and different things. Because yeah, that's definitely a thing. It definitely happens at the casino. I'll do that in the next session for sure, and from here on out. Sorry, I didn't think of that in the first 2 sessions. But all right, again, guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching me for nearly an hour. You guys have a great day. This is Jacob from WagerMeThis.